Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 22 of What If Naruto Became the God of Lightning. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Put Through Hell and adopted by the Raikage over on Anime King 2, and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And also, stay in tune for a brand new episode coming over on Anime King 3, which I do hope that you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new, yes, I have 3 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying, talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Kakashi was in the midst of a battle with the 3 ninjas. He knew nothing of Samui's style, but the girl seemed to work well with Naruto, as Sakura came in with the defense. Her monstrous strength and her continuous training with Kurenai, her genjutsu had advanced. Kakashi stood absolutely no chance as both him and Naruto went at it. As Naruto Water Lightning Dragon overpowered Kakashi Water Dragon, swarming the man, as he was defeated by the 3 of them. There was a reason after all why Naruto was called the God of Lightning, although they were not trying to kill each other. Being on the field and training with your comrade is 2 different things. But Tsunade could see that Naruto's skills had improved beyond what she had ever expected, as Jiraiya had a smirk on his face, as that was even half of what the kid could do. Meanwhile, the Hidden Sand, Gaara, wasn't having such a good time, as he was attacked by the Akatsuki. Deidara had made his way in the Hidden Sand alone, as he attacked Gaara. Because he had to save his city, Gaara ended up sacrificing some of his sand, and Deidara used that to his advantage. Meanwhile, Sasuke was thinking about a past memory, as he remembered when he was sent by Orochimaru to retrieve a scroll from a guy known as Shinzo. When Sasuke arrived, the place had been in ruins, as Shinzo was facing off against none other than Naruto, as the man had shriveled up and his hair was white, and he was trembling at Naruto's feet, as Naruto had defeated the man. As the man had harnessed the power, corruption, and all the toxic negative energy to create an artificial Biju, the Zero Tails he called it. But him and his plans weren't going to succeed because Naruto was there to help on that mission, and he stood absolutely no chance. But Sasuke was snapped from his thought before he could finish it. There was no way he was going to let Orochimaru take over his body, as he was never planning on that in the first place. In fact, it was soon time that he killed Orochimaru. Meanwhile, the group received a message at Konoha, as it was just in time as Tsunade sent Naruto and the team. As Jiraiya gave Naruto some parting words, this is what he has been training for, as Naruto made their way off. Tsunade asked Jiraiya where were the Kiba blades, as she didn't see Naruto using them. But Jiraiya did not know exactly where they were, as Naruto said that he gave them up. Something that will benefit Konoha will come soon of it. She was confused. Jiraiya himself was prying, but Naruto never told him why, as Naruto went on a lot of missions on his own, as he could handle himself quite well out there. With that, they end up meeting up with Temari as they made their way toward the sand. Temari could not go because Conqueror was still injured. His body was tired and exhausted, and she was the only representative there for the sand, as Sakura had healed him. She had come far in her medical ninjutsu training. With that, the team headed off with a new person accompanying them. It was Lady Chiyo, as she knew Naruto of course. After all, he spent many times in the sand. They got caught up with Itachi and Kisame, as Naruto realized it was just a diversion. So he took Kisame and the others took Itachi. As the both of them started to fight, Naruto pulled out the raging blade The Thunder God sword of the second Ataki, Aoi, had stolen from the village and he had taken up residence in the Hidden Rain, becoming a range shinobi. As he was a missing ninja Naruto was after, he didn't stand a chance. Tsunade told Naruto to keep the blade as it would suit well for his fighting style, not to mention his lightning affinity. After all, if she got it back, even if it was her granduncle's, it was just gonna be placed down and collect dust. To be placed in the hand of a capable ninja, she would like that very much. Kisame and Naruto clash. With the body that Kisame was currently inhabiting, the 30% of its chakra, he stood no chance, as Naruto showed him why he was named the God of Lightning, using his lightning in some crazy degrees, even running on it, as he defeated Kisame rather quickly. So yeah guys, those basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? We begin this episode right after Naruto had separated them from the group, as Itachi had to move away. Several kunais and shurikens hitting the ground where he was, as Kakashi jumped in the fray, his Sharingan already spinning rapidly, as Itachi ducked under a sweep. Before going through hand sign as he did, Kakashi leaped away as Itachi released a fireball from his mouth. Kakashi slammed both hands on the ground as a massive wall construct right in front of him, tanking the fireball. Itachi then ducked under a swipe. As Samui twists and brought her blade down, he leaped as he landed right on top of the wall that Kakashi had created. Kakashi no longer behind it. He looked at his robe as it was sliced, before he looked back towards the girl who was now gone. The earth wall then broke open as Kakashi came right out of it, swinging a kunai towards a man. Itachi gestured back, leaning his neck far as a kunai passed his throat. He then grabbed Kakashi's wrist and pulled him down as he stared directly into Kakashi's Sharingan eye. "You've gotten better, I see," said Itachi, his tone emotionless as usual. "And you're always on top of your game," said Kakashi, the both of them looking each other eye. "But you should know, your Sharingan cannot compare to mine. That is why I have backup," said Kakashi as he closed his eyes. The entire place went white as Itachi had to stagger back, the fluctuation of lightning chakra in the ear snapping right into his eyes. It was directly focused towards his eyes after all, as Samui was crouched, her hand in a seal. "Thank you, Naruto-kun," she said. Itachi staggered for a moment and Sakura came in, her fists bearing, charged with chakra. But even with his eyes closed at the moment, he could still react in time as he ducked under a swipe, before spinning out with a vicious right hook towards her stomach, only for a blade to be inches away from his hands. Itachi pulled back as he flicked the kunai and blocked another kick coming towards him. It was from Kakashi. He then brought up his other hand as he blocked a severe kick coming from his other side, the Kumo Kunoichi. That left Sakura at the front, and Itachi was wide open. She pulled her fist back as she drove it forward, only for Sakura to stagger as she broke the genjutsu. As the three of them leaped away, an explosive tag blowing up the entire area. "But I didn't look in his eyes," said Sakura. She was able to counter his genjutsu quite quickly, but she was still surprised that she got caught in one. "I don't need my eyes to place you under a genjutsu," said Itachi as he rematerialized out of crows. "You should really look where you're standing," said Samui. As Itachi snapped his head to the side as he saw a kunai buried in one of the tree barks, Samui slammed her hand together as she released a spark of electricity that slammed right in towards the kunai. It then flooded towards another one and flooded towards another one, trapping Itachi into a circle of an electrical field, before she pulsed another chakra flare as electricity went out in all directions, forcing Itachi to stagger back out of the shock. His Akatsuki closed, smoking. Kakashi burst out of the ground and slammed his feet right into Itachi's stomach, throwing him back as chakra threads attached to him by Cho. Lady Chiyo then dragged him as she threw him. Sakura pulled her fist back as Itachi was thrown directly towards her. She released her chakra in a wide burst so he could not put her in any genjutsu. As her fist connected with his face, he was thrown. His body launched away as he slammed hard several times into the ground, before he came to a stop, perching near to a tree branch. His body did not move, or even budge, not even an inch. As Sakura's face was still smoking, Samui pulled her blade as she stepped forward, as she looked down at the different person. Moments later, Naruto arrived. As I suspected, it was a diversion. I know this one, said Chio. He was a part of the council. That would explain why they got in so easily without setting off any of the alarms. It would make sense now, she said. Seems like they were being controlled. The one you fought, he was a sand ninja as well, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess so, said Naruto, seeing that it wasn't really Kisame. I could tell you that from the start after all. These guys, they have more chakra than that, especially Kisame. He is known as a tailless tail beast after all. So from the moment I felt it, I knew it was a diversion. Come on, we gotta get going. Naruto is right, said Kakashi. We can't afford to waste any time. With that, the group quickly sped off. A few minutes earlier in the cave, as Itachi and Kisame had came back. Well, I see the reason why they call him the God of Lightning now. He really is something, said Kisame, a bright, toothy smile that was being shown in the hologram. It doesn't matter, the leader of the Akatsuki said, because it's over. The body of Gaara fell as it hit the ground at thud, lifeless. So what now? Asked Deidara as he cracked his neck. Try if you can to subdue the nine-tailed Jinchuriki. He's in your grasp. But if you can't, flee from the situation. We can't afford to be losing any members. What? Why should you even run away from that brat? I'll just blow into smithereens. Deidara, said Pain, his stern tone glazing over the entire cave. Make sure you do not fatally harm the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, or else. The tone and the threat was clear as Deidara kept his mouth shut. Sorcery, make sure the others are taken care of. It will be done, said Sorcery. Kisame, hold up. I saw his picture in the Hidden Stone Bingo book. Does he look the same? Asked Deidara. Yes, more or less. He's just grown a bit more from that old picture. But you can tell, blonde hair, whisker marks. And he's gonna try to kill you after he sees his body. From what I remember, he's a friend of the Kazekage. So you better watch yourself. Like if a brat like that can hurt me. Dismiss, said Pain, as the statue poofed away, the hologram's gone, leaving the two behind. We both know your weakness. Do you really want to fight someone that is referred to the God of Lightning? Are you that stupid? Or are you just that idiotic? Yeah, I know about his damn abilities, but I can handle myself. You don't have to worry about me. If you know what your weakness is, you're as good as done for. You won't even be able to move a single muscle against him if he turns his lightning against you. I'll take the Jinchuriki. You take care of the other ones. Besides, it's more of them. Why don't you show them your art? Maybe they will at least appreciate it. Because God knows I don't. It's because you don't understand true art. Meanwhile, the group finally arrived at the cave. Seems that we have a problem, said Chio, as she looked up toward the seal on a large stone. Kakashi leaped up. It's a 5-pointed seal. The other ones, 4 of them, must be around the area. If I recall correctly, you have to remove the other ones, and this at the same time, to break this. Not exactly. As Samui spoke up. Well, dear, why don't you show them how advanced you've gotten in Fuinjutsu? Kakashi looked down. Naruto, you've been studying Fuinjutsu? A bit. You're being too modest, Samui said, as Naruto leaped up and landed on the stone. As he pulled out a scroll, he unsealed a brush and an ink. What you gonna do? Deactivate it. Just by using this one? Well, I have been studying, said Naruto, and you know me when I start to get on one thing. I just can't seem to stop, as he started to write rather quickly. As Sakura looked at him in amazement, even when writing, he looked hot, doesn't he? Samui whispered, making Sakura blush as she turned her head. I wasn't thinking that. Oh, of course you weren't. No, honest. It's just that he's advanced so far. And I'm happy for him, she said. Samui simply shrugged. As Naruto went through hand sign, release, as a seal array that he placed on the paper started to burn, it scorched the entire seal. Sakura, if you may, said Naruto, I'm on it. As the two of them leaped away, bam! Her fist shattered the boulder. Meanwhile, out in the forest, the 4 seals just burned away, the traps not activating, to bring up their double to fight them. The moment the stones broke, the group dashed inside. Ah, seems we have company, said Sasori. Yes, we do, said Deidara as he sit on Gaara's chest. The group landed there. Sakura eyes widened. She could tell already from here. See no movement at all in his body as she looked at his neck, and the way that guy was sitting on him. We're too late, said Kakashi. As Naruto said nothing, Chiyo clenched her fists. So they brought you as well, old woman, said Sasori. Sasori, hiding in your puppy's eye, see. Why don't you reveal yourself and show yourself to me, so we can have a proper talk? That won't be necessary, said Sasori. You're old. You should be in a retirement home by now, and yet you're still fighting. These old bones can still move. Hey, which one of you is the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? Said Deidara. Of course he knew who was the god of lightning, yet he was just dragging it out. I heard the Kazekage. He reached down and slapped Gaara in the face, was your friend, as he patted Gaara's face, his cheek. But right now he's dead as a doorknob. So tell me, is it you? He looked towards Kakashi. Or is it you? He looked towards Samui. Nah, can't be. So it must be... Deidara blinked, as that was a wrong thing for him to do. Sasori's tail came shooting up, but not even his tail was fast enough. As Naruto's feet charged with electricity slam against Deidara's head, the speed and the strength that he threw it, the man's brain rattled as Deidara was launched. Sasori saw his open as he was about to stab the Jinchuriki right through the stomach. After all, they can heal from that. But a blade stabbed right into his tail, stopping it. As Samui twisted her blade, electricity flowed down it as Sasori leaped back away from her. Naruto then crouched down as he picked up Gaara. Hey, you damn brat, said a voice as stones could be heard as Deidara threw the rubber off of him. His mouth was leaking. The left side of his face had a nasty burn mark from the electricity that had coursed through Naruto's feet. Not to mention several of his teeth were broken, shattered. Blood was fuming from his mouth as his eyes were murderous. I'm gonna make you pay for that, you little shit, he said, as he quickly threw a small clay that poof as he hopped on the bird back. Sasori, sorry for this, but I'll be taking the Jinchuriki, as Deidara came diving forward. As Naruto threw Gaara's body gently, a clone poofed into existence and grabbed it. As Deidara came dropping down towards Naruto, as he threw spiders, Naruto spun around as he simply kicked the spiders out of the air. The electric current off his feet going in a wide radius, the arc, blowing them away. The moment the electricity shot them, they disabled. As he simply kicked the clay, the useless clay away. Deidara cursed as he flew over Naruto's head. Well, if you want your revenge, he said, mumbling the words a bit. You're gonna have to catch me, he said, as he flew through the cave. As Naruto looked towards Kakashi, as Kakashi nodded, as Naruto turned towards Samui, who nodded back. With that, the both of them shooted off. So, the three of you are left with me, said Sasori. It would seem that way, said Kakashi, as he raised his headband, showing his Sharingan that was spinning ominously. I know more about puppies than either of you, said Chiyo. She stepped forward. So let me lead this one. But I will be needing both of your help, so we can take him down once and for all, she said. Oh, do you? He tore the cloth from the puppet's mouth. Let's see if you can make wise on those words, Granny. Senbons were sealed from his mouth as he came towards the group. Too bad you can't fly, Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Oh, I'm offended. I thought this was gonna be a one-on-one session. You brought your friend with you as well, said Deidara, as he looked towards Samui. Well, I've already taken down one of your friends. Soon enough the Akashi will come for you as well. So it's only a matter of time. Why don't you just lay down your life now, said Deidara, as he flew on his bird. Because it's only a matter of time before we come for you as well, and you're gonna end up just like your little friend there. You know, for a supposed S-rank criminal, you sure love to hear the sound of your own voice, said Naruto. What was that? Deidara, extract missing Nin from the Hidden Stone. You were a part of the explosion core at the village, but you wanted something greater. You wanted to reach higher heights, so you stole a forbidden technique and abandoned the village. As you became a missing ninja, you joined the Akatsuki. Am I right? So what? You know about me. It doesn't matter. It won't help you win. Oh, what I do know is, you're clay. Your ability is molded with earth. And earth is quite susceptible to lightning. And yet you chose to fight me for some odd reason. I guess you are probably the stupidest member in the Akatsuki. Or perhaps, you're just overall dumb. Deidara eyebrow twitched. I really like to kill cocky people like you, said Deidara. Thinking that you're all that just because you have a specific abilities. Just like the damn Uchihas, thinking that you're all that cool. Oh then, I'll make sure to show you my splendid art, and that will be the last thing you see. Remember my words, Kyuubi Jinjulke. As Deidara started to fly, up even higher. Now, be amazed as you witness the greatest art. He then releases birds. He raised a single seal as they transform into larger birds and came swooping down. I got this, said Samui. Her blade crackled with lightning. Flash steps, she said. She twisted her blade several times as an electric pulse, a wave of cutting electricity, flew right towards the birds who sweep up in the air. She smirked as she channeled the chakra in her blade. The flash step attack exploding and swallowing the entire area, electrocuting the birds made from clay as they fall down, completely deactivated. Deidara scoffed at that. He then looked around, as he could not see the Kyuubi Jinjulke anymore. He then heard a crackle in the sky. Deidara looked up. What the hell? The sky just turned dark out of nowhere, as his eyes snapped around to every corner, trying to find the Kyuubi Jinjulke. Hey, where the hell did he go, said Deidara. Samui simply smirked. You should have really kept your mouth shut and tried to run away, because there's no way you're leaving here alive. Well then, we'll just see about that, you little... Deidara leaped off his bird, as his body had moved on instinct as an electric bolt came down and slammed right into it, tearing right through the bird, as the bolt slammed right into Naruto's palm, who was directly underneath the bird. He then turned. He fired his two fingers forward as the bolt went straight towards Deidara, who simply smirked. Poof! A massive dragon appeared as he dropped right on it as the dragon swooped away. Whoa, that was close, Deidara said. You almost had me there, Kyuubi Jinjulke. You're fast. Really fast. But you still won't win. And you're gonna pay for what you did to my face, said Deidara, as his face was still swollen. As Naruto slammed his hand together. Really bad idea to fight me, he said, as he fired a bolt of lightning into the sky. The heavens started to cry as rain started to fall down a few seconds later. Wet? That's it? You're gonna get me wet, Deidara said, as Naruto raised his hands to the sky while moving. As crackling of lightning could be heard, thunder started to rumble. Deidara looked up as his dragon swooped down into the canopy, diving fast. Electric bolts dropped from the sky like meteors, striking the ground in a deadly fashion. Deidara made his dragon go deeper and deeper, as he then felt it. He felt something land on his dragon. He ducked as Naruto's blade passed over his head, crackling with lightning. Deidara rolled on the dragon before leaping off. As Naruto's feet got stuck, the clay wrapping around them, I witnessed true art close up. Guts! Boom! The dragon exploded, taking Naruto with it. I heard Jinjulke's heal from months worse, said Deidara as he moved his scope. As his eye, there was a machine on it that he peered into the cloud, trying to find the body of the weakened Kyuubi Jinjulke for him to bring back. He hoped that didn't do him too much damage, like kill him. After all, he was a Jinjulke. They were supposed to be able to survive dangerous attacks, but there was no body. As Deidara came to a crouch as he landed, as he balanced, he only had one arm. Gaara had tore the other arm completely clean off. He looked around trying to find the Kyuubi Jinjulke. Lightning release, hounding wolves, Deidara heard, as a howl could be heard to the sky. Wolves, 8 of them in total, came rushing towards Deidara. They were made purely from lightning. Deidara leaped back as he pulled his hand from his pouch as he threw it forward. Small insects flew towards the wolves that simply leaped. The insects exploded as the wolves exploded into a shower of lightning, striking away into the ground and the earth. As Deidara landed and looked around, he looked up. The canopy above him was filled. He quickly brought out his arm as goo started to spread out of it. It started to spray and land on the ground into a sludge. Before it started to grow, a humanoid figure that looked quite splashy created right in front of him. As Naruto reappeared, he moved, slice. Its blade caught right into the thing. Deidara simply smirked. It's not gonna be that. Deidara's eyes went wide when Naruto cut right through it, as he simply added more chocolate to his lightning writing blade. As he appeared in front of Deidara and swiped, Deidara gestured back. He moved back as he moved with the momentum. He flipped with his one arm, lashed out his feet as Naruto kicked it away. That sent the man tumbling to the side. A blade then dropped from the sky as Deidara rolled out of the way, some way stabbing the ground where his head was. Deidara got back to his feet as he looked at the both of them. 2-on-1, huh? Well, this should be fun. As he smirked, he then raised his arm as he turned into clay. The real Deidara looked down towards them. The ground broke apart as large insects came from it made from clay, along with the fake clone down there. Boom! The explosion rocked the entire canopy. As the real Deidara smiled before allowing his new dragon to swoop down. His dragon tail then compressed as a miniature dragon came in his mouth, just in case. As he saw something shot out of the smoke, he fired the miniature dragon as it went down. It destroyed the wall as rubble came dropping down towards the blur. As Deidara waited, his eye glanced up towards the sky as the rain had subsided. It was barely a drizzle. He could see the lightning cackling up in the clouds though, as he had to be cautious just in case. But yet nothing was coming. Is that it? Is that all the famous god of lightning has? Deidara then felt something strange. The hair in the back of his hand started to stand up. His own hair started to get frazzled as he tried to smooth it down with one hand, but it was not working. Something was wrong. There was no one down there. The Naruto in some way that was on the ground was now gone. As the real Naruto was standing out in the open just watching Deidara. Huh? So, what was that? A show, said Deidara. I guess we were both using clones. But to what end, Deidara said. Do you think you can catch me all the way up here? You know, for someone that's supposed to be an S-rank ninja, you truly are slow, said Naruto. Deidara snapped his head around as he felt the lightning. He could feel it in the air as his dragon started to sway from side to side, being directly in a lightning storm. Do you really think that would be good for your jutsu? But it stopped, Deidara said. Oh, did it? Said Naruto. 4 clones of Naruto was around the area. As they were controlling the electricity in the air, they were making it more potent. Deidara, clay dragon started to fall. The moment it started to fall, Naruto appeared on the right side of it. Deidara's eyes snapped towards him. So BAM! Naruto's feet connected in a real Deidara face this time, shooting him right off the dragon as Deidara started to fall. He opened his palm as several clay bursts came out of it, but they all dropped down towards the ground. The area was too saturated with lightning chakra for him to use any of his clay. He cursed as Naruto landed. He then turned as Samui was standing there. So, you now, he said. Oh, I'm not gonna fight you, she said. He is. Deidara turned as he brought his one hand up as he blocked a punch that was aimed right towards his face. He ducked, pulling out a kunai out of his pouch as he sliced after Naruto, who simply grabbed his wrist and held it tight. Deidara winced as a snapping sound could be heard as Naruto's hand started tightening around his wrist. You're the one that went after Gaara. As Deidara looked at him. You're all talk, but without your clay, what else can you do? Do you know that I'm efficient in all other nature, other than lightning as well? But I prefer to use lightning because it suits me most. Why the hell should I care? Oh, I'm just showing you how useless you are. Without your clay, said Naruto. Deidara snarled as he lashed out with a kick. Naruto twisted around and grabbed the man's leg, twisting him as he slammed Deidara into the ground hard, bursting his nose. He then slammed his foot in Deidara's face, furthering fracturing the man's face as the man was sent sailing. He rolled as he came to a stop. Deidara got to his feet and threw the kunai, only for Naruto to grab it out of mid-air. The moment his hand came in contact with it, it started to sparkle. There was so many electric currents in the air, Naruto could draw from the air atmosphere. A lot of it without even using his own chakras, he threw it. The thing blurred as it was moving at such speed. Deidara cursed. He cried out in pain as things severed right into his shoulder. It did not stop, it burst right through his back, sailing. Deidara dropped down as he tried to clutch it. Well, he had nothing to clutch his other shoulder with, seeing that his hand was gone over here, and he couldn't reach his hand up to clutch it that way. He became Kazekage to protect the people that he loved at his village. Yet you had to go after him, and now he's gone, said Naruto. You know, I'm quite angry, but yet I learned how to mask my emotions for the longest time now. So, I'm not just gonna lose my cool and go all crazy on you. Deidara spat as blood came from his mouth. It doesn't matter what you say, Kibijin, your friend is gone, and you will be dead in no time. It's just a matter of time before the Akatsuki come for you as well. As Naruto moved, bam, his feet connected to Deidara's face. Something rattled. Deidara staggered back, blood leaking from his nose. A small trickle of blood coming from the eye socket as well. Bam! Naruto smashed his feet right again into the man's temple. Deidara's head slammed against the ground as he seemed to knock out of focus for a second. He could barely see Naruto. Naruto grabbed him by the face and threw him. He slammed into the wall. Deidara cursed as he slumped down. As Naruto started to march towards him, laughter. You have certainly the best element to fight me, Deidara said. I must give you that. But still, if I'm going down, the Akatsuki will hate me for this, but I'm taking you with me as well. After all, the world must know the true art is an explosion, and I will show the entire world. I will mark this landscape with my art, Deidara said. As the man pulled that thread, as Naruto watched as a tongue came from his chest, his ruined Akatsuki clothing was torn at the front. Now, Kyuubi Jinchuriki, let's see you survive this. As Naruto started to see the chakra, it was pulsing black veins through the man's skin. He's converting his chakra to his chest, Naruto, said Samui. Yeah, said Naruto. So you plan on blowing up yourself? Me and all of you. And no matter how far you run, or where you go, you will not escape this. And who said I was planning on running, said Naruto. You know, converting your chakra like that, having it stop at a direct flow, would cause you immense pain. As Naruto moved, Deidara simply scoffed. You're too late. As Naruto went through hand sign, weaving, hand sign in the air, but not for a jutsu, for seals. His hand started to glow. His legs seemed to blur out of sight as his speed kicked up to another notch. He slammed his hand in Deidara's chest that was trying to go translucent. As he smashed the man into the wall, Deidara smirked. This was only going to make him explode even. Deidara was confused. What's going on? His body. He looked down to his chest. His body was no longer gonna... What have you done? He screamed. Stopped you. As a massive seal and a ray on Deidara's chest, it was like chains spreading out from the center of his heart, wrapping around his body tightly as it held him there. His chakra no longer compressed into a tight ball. Deidara cursed. He tried to get the seal off him, but nothing he did was working. His body felt sluggish and weak. Now, said Naruto, the giant monster that you guys have been sealing, the Biju's in. Deidara twitched. How did you... Told you I was right, said Kurama. So, what you told me back then, said Naruto, it's real. What are you even talking about, Deidara said. From your expression, I already got what I wanted, said Naruto. That means you're no longer useful. Deidara struck as he got to his feet as he started to run, only for Samui to kick away his feet as he dropped down to the ground. As Naruto walked over, Samui grabbed him by his hair. Let me go, he said. As he tried to bite Naruto, Naruto slapped him across the face. Samui then twists as she threw him straight up in the ear. As Naruto brought his hand together before going through a single hand sign. Lightning release, he said. Spear of Zeus. As the jutsu entailed, a massive spear of lightning was created in his palm as he turned and threw it. Deidara could not do anything but watch as his demise came. But with the lightning coating in the ear, it was far more explosive. His body was shredded by the electricity as it pierced right through him. The spear melted his organs. He was long dead before he even dropped onto the ground, while the burned remains of his body that left. As he was gone, Samui then turned towards Naruto. So you were right, she said. And that thing, they really want to bring it back. Yeah, said Naruto. He hadn't told anyone else but her about this. Kurama had told him that he had a theory why the Akatsuki was going after tail beasts to bring back a beast known as a Jobe. That was a rather shocking moment for Naruto. Flashback. What? Yes, the progenitor of all of us. The Jobe. And this thing was made up of all of your chakras, said Naruto. Yes, and a lot more powerful than myself, even though I hate to admit it. It is known as a destroyer, able to drink the ocean, split the earth. Whoever the leader of the Akatsuki is, they want to bring it back, but no way they will be able to control it. Remember what I told you about who created me? Yes, the sage, said Naruto. Well, there's a lot more that you don't know. Now, sit down, said Kurama. This time I told you everything. In the flashback. And Kurama did tell Naruto everything. About how he was created and not to mention, if the Jobe was to come back, what would happen. So now we're certain, said Naruto. I had a hunch. We didn't even know if it was true, so I kept it to myself. But now we're certain. The Akatsuki want to bring back the Jobe. Yes, Kurama said. So you need to kill as many of their members as possible to end this. You already know who the members are. It's time that you start to execute them before they gather the remaining tail beasts. As Naruto nodded, as he looked towards Samui. Don't worry, said Naruto. We'll keep her safe, but not that she need it. She's always saying that she is super strong and awesome, right? Samui chuckled a bit. Yeah, as she was thinking about Yujito, her sensei. There you go again, always worrying about people. And never yet worrying about yourself. You know that you're after you as well, right? Yeah, said Naruto. But my first priority is to protect the one special to me first. Well then, I'll just protect you, she said. As he smiled at her, she kissed him right on the lips. Come on, let's go back. With that, they raced back towards destruction. And in fact, it was destruction. As the place was nothing but rubbles. The entire cave had been blown to smithereens. As Naruto saw Sakura, Kakashi, and Chio looking quite winded. The place was filled with senbons, and not to mention hundreds of puppets. Kakashi seemed to have overexerted his Sharingan once again, as he looked quite winded. As Naruto saw Sasori, two swords were through his back and through his chest. Older puppet, two of them, it seemed to be a woman and a man. And surprisingly, they had the same hair as Sasori. As Naruto was surprised, he saw Sasori's features. But the thought quickly popped into his head that Sasori somehow turned himself into a puppet. As Naruto made his way as he stopped in front of Gaara's body, the clone had kept safe outside. As he released a sigh, Chio stepped forward. He will be missed, said Chio. He died too young, said Naruto. He deserved a lot more. He was so happy when he became Kazekage. Gaara was never one to talk about his feelings or show it that much. But I could see how excited he was. Everyone was so happy. You know I was there, said Naruto. And he told me all the great things he was gonna do for the sand. And yet, he didn't get to do everything. As Naruto clenched his fist because of these damn Akatsukis. As Samui placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. You know, said Chio, this is quite a strange sight. What is, said Naruto. As Chio looked towards his face. You're crying. As Naruto reached up, he didn't even notice. You care about that other shinobi from our other village. I can see that the world is truly changing. What do you mean? Said Naruto. In the past, despite being allies, people never truly care about people this way. I heard what you did. I heard that you were the one that changed him, that turned him into the man that he is today. As Chiyo lowered herself on the other side of Gaara. Perhaps, it's truly not his time yet, she said. What are you doing, Lady Chiyo? Said Sakura. There is a jutsu that I can use to bring him back. What? Said Sakura, as she never heard of something like this before. It requires one to use her own life force. But it will bring him back. Your life force? So does that mean that you're gonna... Yes, I'm afraid so. But do not feel sad, she said, as she had a wistful smile on her face. It's the right thing to do. I can feel it in my heart. Because you, Naruto Uzumaki, I believe that you will change this world because of the compassion and the heart that you possess. And you will need aid to do it. Friends as the Kazekage here, and others. And your little girlfriend here, she said, as she smiled towards Samui. But you will do it. So, I'm putting my faith in you, Naruto Uzumaki, she told him, as she placed her hands on Gaara's chest. As she activated jutsu, everyone went silent. Chiyo started to hyperventilate as the chakra started to flow into Gaara. But her body was exhausted from the battle. As the chakra started to dim, you're not alone, said Naruto. Use mine. I can see that you're running low on chakra. I have a lot to spare. She looked up with a smile. Alright, Sonny. Place your hands right here. Which he did. The thing then went wide as Naruto chakra magnified. It was then easier from there on, as Chiyo feel it slipping away. She gave Naruto one last grateful smile before everything went black for her. As Sakura was right beside her and caught her body, Gaara's hand then twitched as he slowly blinked. He saw the blonde hair as he saw the whisker marks. Naruto? Gaara, said Naruto with a smile. You're back. Time skip. He took Deidara down. He had the aid of this girl with him. I can now say for a certain that the both of them seemed to be with each other. They shared a kiss after the battle was over. I couldn't go too close to the action, but he was speaking to Deidara for a long time before he killed him. Did the girl intervene as well? Yes, but not enough to merely help him that much. It seemed like she wanted him to fight alone, or he asked her that he wanted to take this guy down alone by himself, which he did. He completely outsmarted and outclassed Deidara in every field. Once he took care of Deidara Clays, Deidara stood no chance. His taijutsu and his strength, something rather ridiculous. He then skewered Deidara down to the bone. Even the ring is gone. Pain clenches fists. It seems that the Kyuubi Jinchuriki has gotten a lot stronger than we could anticipate, said Zetsu. It doesn't matter. The others will continue the search for the others. He will be the last one, and I'll go after him myself if I have to. Everything is still going towards plan, but I wanted to keep an eye out and see if he leaves the village, to see if you can find out what he's fully capable of. Well, for one thing, I can tell that he's not an A-rank ninja. It seems that he still need to up their bingo book. He's at least S-rank. And the thing about it was, he was barely fighting. Not really pushing himself to his limit. Even though I couldn't really see properly, I was at a distance away. He swallowed the entire area with lightning chakra. His control over lightning has grown immensely. He didn't even use a cloak from the fox. And the last time I checked, he was able to use up to 4 tails. But now, he didn't even use a single tail. So he fought Deidara with only his strength. As Pain absorbed all of this information, Continue to watch him and find out everything you have. And bring it back to me. This will not change the plan at all. He will still fall. We are already in the process of going after the other tail beasts. This will not change things. And you said Sorcerer was taken out by the others. Yes. The old woman, the girl, and the copy ninja Kakashi Hatake. It was a valiant fight, but Sorcerer still came to a loss. Pain simply nodded as he got the information he needed. Meanwhile, he told you what? That he will be meeting a spy in Orochimaru ranks. 12 days from now at the Tenchi Bridge, said Sakura as she looked towards Naruto. Kakashi Sensei was there, so he already knows about this. I was waiting until we get back to the office so we could speak to Snazzy. But I figure I should tell you right now. As Naruto was dressed in a simple white t-shirt, black pants, they were currently at the rooms that Gaara had set up for them in the Hidden Sand. We can use this informant, Naruto, and finally find out where Sasuke is, and bring him back. We're still gonna do that, right? She asks. Don't worry, nothing has changed. And we will get Sasuke back, no matter what. Sakura lowered her head a bit. What's wrong? I know that you're always confident in things, but how do you know? What if he doesn't want to come back? What if he's changed, she said. It's not like she was doubting Sasuke 100%, but it was just that last time he hurt Naruto badly. And she wasn't able to fully fight Sasuke. Yes, she punched him, but still. She just wanted him to stop hurting Naruto, so she did punch him. But what if Sasuke tried to attack Naruto for the kill? Would Naruto be able to fight him back fully? As she didn't know. As she blamed herself for so long for being so weak to be able to do anything. But Naruto always had this confident attitude about him. Like everything was gonna be alright, and she believed in him when he said it. That is why she wanted to know. Naruto placed both his hands on her shoulders. Sakura, I don't make promise vainly, and you know that. And right now I promise you we will get Sasuke back no matter what. She released a sigh as her shoulders dropped. Thank you, Naruto, she said. No problem, said Naruto. As the door then opened up. What exactly is going on in here? Said Samui. As she looked towards Sakura. Oh, nothing, said Sakura. We're just talking. As Samui stepped forward. You did promise me that you won't go after my boyfriend. And yet I find the both of you locked in a room all to yourself. She tried to seduce me, said Naruto. What? Sakura said. Yes, she came here and asked me if I wanted her. That she would be a better girlfriend. And that I should be with her instead. I did no such thing, Sakura said, her cheeks blushing in embarrassment. As Samui turned towards her with a small glare. Look, she wanted to tear my shirt off, saying that she would put up a silencing seal. As Naruto started to back away. I was trying to call for you, but she held my mouth. You did what? Said Samui. As Sakura ran out of the room. The both of them started to laugh. Well, that was fun, said Naruto. Sometimes she can be really gullible, you know that, said Samui. She's just embarrassed, said Naruto. So, about that silencing seal, said Samui, as she licked her lips. But guys, it'll be in so right here. If you want the next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. But for now, remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was put through hell and adopted by the Raikage over on Anime King 2, and stay tuned for the new episode over on Anime King 3. And remember, if you're new, I have 3 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.